Button pressed? Yeah, now it is. Alright. Let's keep going. Oh, there's the main cannon back there. What's that main cannon called again? I don't remember. In any event, Meta Knight must continue his quest to, do whatever is going on here. It doesn't really make any sense, and I really would prefer that it did. I understand we can't ask every mode to have a story as impressive as the story modes. But, you know, I just want something here. Oh! We're back at the, city. I'm sorry, I forget what it's called. Now, I know it hasn't been that long, but I still don't remember what it's called. So I suppose that following, well, actually, I was going to say that the city might still be there after Haltman withdrew, but of course it's not. Of course, Haltman's, for some reason, the destruction of the Access Arc caused all of the technological bits to, melt away. Which I suppose, although they don't show it, means that people like Wispy Woods ended up being, returned to normal in the end. Ah, well. That's a little bit of a cop-out, that ending. I'm never a fan of this sort of endings where it's like, oh, well, after all, there was no real consequences to anything that happened, and everything is magically fixed and everyone is good as new. I'm looking at you, Gravity Falls. As much as I like you, dude, your ending was not... Well, the ending Gravity Falls had a lot of very strong points. A lot of very strong points. Also, a lot of pretty considerable negatives, but that's a subject for another day. For another recording session. I probably will never talk about that, but... Or beyond these sorts of passing, passive-aggressive references to it, but... Well... I don't know. Why Blade Knight? It's not really Blade Knight. But that being said, this cannot be after, when Kirby was, going through here. Which means that presumably... Oh, it's Telepathos 2.0. Is there some kind of screen? No. So it does make me suspect that somehow this is a computer simulation or something. Especially given how, I suppose you could say computery the, area where the halberd is. How computery that area is. You know what I mean. I suspect that this really might end up being just a big computery simulation. The computery simulated world of Des Moines-Nesia. Oh, there's a switch? Wait, what am I doing? I don't care about secrets. I'll do it. Go for it. I'll get those things. Those things are good things. Although I should probably use these good things, now that the Galaxia is at full power. I will also note that that's another example of the anime's canon definitively influencing the games, is the fact that his sword was originally called Galaxia in the anime, but has since then come to be called Galaxia in the games as well. Which makes enough sense. Although I don't believe that his sword had the weird, unaerodynamic spikes on the side of it until after the anime. I gotta say, that is a negative sign. That's a negative influence of the anime. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense for that sword to have those spikes on it. That's just not a good sword design. I will also note that in the little cinematic shot of this screw-shaped building we had a minute ago there, I don't remember noticing when going through the game with Kirby the view of all of the buildings in the background. I mean, I'm not surprised that those were there, it makes sense, but it's just not something that I had noticed before. I just wanted to confirm my understanding that destroying the orbs would destroy the larger sphere. You know, with the ability to indefinitely fly, it becomes pretty easy most of the time to go through these levels, just zip through them. And in a time trial, it's exactly what we want to do now, ain't it? Yeah, it is. It is. Let's meta-quick things up. Meta Knight, Meta-Quick, Nesquick. Meta-Quick sounds like a product that the Haltman Works company would have manufactured. Is this still around after the death of its leader? I don't know. I mean, it probably is. It takes a... But I don't know. After the destruction of the Access Arc, I imagine that's going to be rather discouraging to a lot of investors. So we'll see how long the Hultman Company stays around after that. In what way is this 2.0? I noticed that Telepathos was a distinctly different Telepathos, but I'm not entirely confident that Miasmoros was that different. It is interesting, though, to think of that they would have designed all these mini-bosses, like, modified them to be a little more challenging and also appropriate for Meta Knight. In any case, Heart, Spade, Diamond. Not that it really matters, but might as well go for the goal, right? Yeah. Heart. Yeah, we'll just keep going here. Heart. I heart spades. I heart spades and also diamonds. Those are cool, too. Those are also cool beans. Or maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe it would actually be faster to just not take the path shown on the screen. I don't know. I don't know anything. What do I know? That's not what I meant to do, but fortunately, it was the wrong one that I went through, so it was all for naught anyway. Sure. I'll take what I can get. It doesn't matter. Oh, I get it. If you take the wrong route, you would have gotten an empty chest. That would have been very frustrating. So, I guess that this is, I mean, it kind of makes sense that Meta Knight could, with all of his technological, powerful alien technology that he uses, would, be able to, have a computer simulation of whole, worlds like this. And that's how he trains and stuff. I mean, I guess that's what it is. This mode really doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's a sort of attitude of, like, Kirby has become so much more powerful than me. And I need to keep up because Kirby often gets into trouble and makes bad decisions, and I've observed this over the years. And I want to be sure that I'm there to not let him get hurt and hurt other people through his ignorance. He is still childish after all, even though he's probably like 20. In the anime, of course, Kirby's an infant, which makes sense because, he's a baby. That takes place at the beginning, but also explain how in the Kirby games, assuming they take place over the actual amount of time in between each installment of the series, makes sense that Kirby would now be something like 20. Heck. So, okay, this is not getting us anywhere. Okay, the clown acrobots. I guess they're just here to entertain the people who visit the giant casino of death. Although, obviously, this casino is built for giants, and that's never been explained. That ending ended up being really quite something crazy. I mean, at the end, the villain managed to be one of the simultaneously most ridiculous and also creepy in the entire Kirby series, I think. And I'm referring both to Stardream and to Max Hultman. Alright, let's keep going. Meta Knight. You have a, he's a serious guy, Meta Knight is. He's so serious that he almost, that you could probably make a lot of, humor out of that if this were a TV series or something. Because everybody around him is so sort of ridiculous a lot of the, most of the time. It would be interesting if, we had a dynamic where Meta Knight has to deal with all these crazy, ridiculous things and ends up being funny because he's so serious and stern about it. Although, I don't know. I guess they did that kind of in Kirby's Epic Yarn. I seem to remember Meta Knight having some fantastic yarn dialogue in that game. I don't remember exactly what it was anymore, though. What? Oh. It's still a Kirby robot. Or a Robobot armor-looking robot. I was initially sort of frustrated that Meta Knight wouldn't end up getting his own Robobot armor. Of course, this is hardly surprising, because, the Robobot armor sacrificed itself so that Kirby could, to send Kirby back to Planet Popstar. Which is, tragic, of course, but, I don't know. To be honest, I think they did a kind of good job with that. They did a better job with that than Disney did with Baymax or whatever that giant white robot thing's name is in Big Hero 6. Because, or is it Big Hero 7? Man, I haven't seen that in a long time. I forget. But yeah, the ending of that. When you do something like, oh, the character died, but really, they didn't die. They're all fine. It totally removes any kind of drama and suspense that you would have had And it's just really childish and bad writing. And you're gonna say, oh, but Mackerel Phone, there was a kid's movie, or there's a family movie, rather. Yeah, that doesn't mean you can just have, you know, not good storytelling. It always bothers me in that kind of thing, and this is actually a problem with a lot of a Kirby game like this one, I suppose, that there's really more character development given to the villains than to the protagonists, which really makes them almost hardly like the protagonists, or, well, rather, I suppose it makes the protagonists just vessels for exploring the villains, which I suppose isn't all bad. I'm sure there are those out there who would, advocate that for that kind of thing, but I am not one of those people. I think that all the characters that are at least prominently featured should end up fitting very neatly into a final story mold. Oh man, Kirby's Dream Land 3. I'm gonna do a playthrough of Kirby's Dream Land 3. You'll see. You'll all see. I'm gonna do it. And Kirby 64. I need to replay all of these. You know how some people, have like novels or something that they'll turn back to for their whole life? Like, they'll come to points in their life where, I need to read this novel again. That's how I am with Kirby's Dream Land 3. Ow. Meta Knight, that's an example of his seriousness being used to comic effect that I was just talking about. Because that is pretty comical, what just happened to MK right there. And it's okay that he's hurting all these people, because it's computer simulation. It's just a computer simulation of these cities. He wants to have strength to match Kirby, because, as I said before, Kirby really does get out of hand sometimes. Is that a sticker? No, it's not a sticker. But Meta Knight just wants to demonstrate that Galaxia is strong enough to cause a car to crash. Even when it's not at full power, no less. Alright, come on, Robobot armor-looking robot. Man, that Robobot armor, one of the best friends a guy could ever have. It's like it's delayed. Its reactions are delayed. Come on. Yeah, it is. Its reactions are a little bit delayed. That's kind of weird. Is it because Meta Knight is so fast? It's because he's so fast. It's because he's a speed demon. It's because he's the fastest hedgehog alive. They call him the Blue Blur. Or am I getting him mixed up with somebody else? Nah, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that I'm not getting him mixed up with anybody. Come on, Kirby Robot. Kirby Robot. I don't really care about the loot right now, Kirby Robot. Because, you see, Kirby Robot, this is one of those times where, that kind of thing, there's not time for that kind of thing, because Meta Knight is also testing himself to see just how quickly he can go on those stubby legs of his. That's water music. Now that I think of... Okay, never mind. I was going to say that I couldn't remember many water levels in this game, but I realized there were quite a few, and I was just having a momentary blank on them. If Meta Knight's really trying to train for all these, eventualities, it makes sense that he would be testing himself by having his simulation include larger, more powerful versions of the enemies. Of course, it's a very dangerous simulation, because if you die here, you die for real. I'm sure it's been a horror movie before. I'm sure it has. I know there was a DS horror game made by, like, Square Enix or something. It was basically The Ring, but with video games. Honestly, it sounds like a pretty cool idea for a game. It's like an NES game or something that they use in it, I think. What does Meta Knightmares do? I'm gonna click on that and see what it does, because it's not good to keep getting all these Galaxia energy and not use them. Oh! It summons the Meta Knights to attack enemies. Good to know. Why didn't I just wait just a second? Oh well, a little late now, I guess, ain't it? Yeah, a little late now. Well, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. The only perfect things in the world are certain mathematical equations. And, well, I guess it's... Yeah, I mean, really, that's it. I can't think of anything else. No! Healing! These touchscreen controls. That was a pretty cool move there, the way Meta Knight got the little pink robots that Dubier is sending after us. You know, I'm dubious about Dubier's prospects of victory, and with good reasons, as we now see. Meta Knight is probably silently condemning the inhumanity of this casino, in his mind, of course, not his mind, because he's a pretty quiet guy. He's a man of few words. He talks occasionally, but he's a man of few words. He more often is not talking than he is talking. That's just the kind of guy he is. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a quiet guy. Remember back in middle school, there was a girl I knew who I really admired for how quiet she was. I mean, you know, she was also very friendly, but she was very quiet. Well, I guess those are both things I admired. Oh! Hollow Defense AP, what does it say? Redesigned by the mother computer, this defense system is based on a blueprint found on another planet. It's missing a segment of data and is unable to demonstrate its full potential. Wait a minute! Okay, so the Holtman Company did not, in fact, it was not those aliens that built, they are not the ones who built the Black Pyramids and Picts. Rather, those were blueprints from a civilization they found, a presumably ruined one. So perhaps those two were built by whoever the people are who built the Galactic Nova, and of course Stardream as well. They further analyzed the data of the Cloud Monster and discovered even more vicious attacks. The system redesign has implemented these attacks and made the Hollow Krakow even more powerful. It looks like a Krakow's Revenge from DDD's Revenge in Kirby Superstar Ultra. Now what are you gonna do? Holo Defense AP 2.0? These are 2.0. These monsters were created by Susie entering data she acquired from her travels. Where and when did she encounter the original monsters from another dimension? Who knows? Okay, hold on. If this is a simulation, then how are we getting these things that have apparently been designed by the Holtman Company since then? Unless Meta Knight is training for his like agents operating off-world and his I don't know, training for when Susie comes back to finish what the Holtman Company started, their genocidal world energies plundering plans. This is a really dark Kirby game. Oh, he has a tattoo now. This hologram was created from an ancient dragon. Dragons are no longer seen, but one of them may still be living quietly in a cave on an island somewhere. Who knows? What on earth does that mean? I mean, I understand what it literally means, but what are they referring to? I don't remember. I mean, there are dragons in Kirby games occasionally. I remember back in a Kirby Mass Attack, there was a level where you're being chased by a giant dragon made of ice, not Ice Dragon. I forget what the giant dragon made of ice was called. It was not Ice Dragon. Although when I first saw it, I wondered if it were a version of Ice Dragon. In any event, if this is Pix not at full potential, I have to say, Pix must have been a lot tougher than I remember. It is said that the people of the sky who enshrined this monster still exist. It seems that the mechanization invasion has not reached them due to their remote location. Oh! Okay, it's good to know that the friendly, cute fairy flower people Floralians escaped all of this. Which is pretty impressive, because it would seem to me that the Holtman Company got to just about the entire planet. Oh, you're gonna... Oh, nice. Still gonna shoot those star-bit-shaped blobs of energy at us, huh? I think that this is a boss against whom it would be wise to use Meta Knightmare. Yeah, I think it would be. Meta Knightmare! The Meta Knights are assembled. Whoa. Really does pack a punch. Anything new to say? No. But wait, redesigned by the mother computer, Does that mean that Stardream is still out there? I mean, I know that Kirby final bosses have this annoying tendency to be destroyed over and over before they actually lose. Why is it even dropping stars, though? Kirby's not going to fight... Oh, I know. It must be in the arena, and that's... Kirby would fight it there. Okay. Mmm, delicious. Oh, the combat just... It's a real turn-on to Meta Knight. Whatever. Magalore Doodle. That really is... That really is a doodle. That's a very, very bad doodle. Anything else? No, I just got one sticker that whole time. In any case, Meta Knight's eternal training to which he has devoted his life only continues. His was a lonely path once, but today he has friends. He has his Meta Knights. And, on some level, he even has Kirby, who's almost become like a protege of his. Meta Knight is the mysterious, aloof... something. Master. Sure, we'll go with that. It's also interesting to note that, of course, Kirby's... Oh! That's what Meta Knight looks like in a snorkel. I always wanted to see the sight.
Mmm.